Let's talk about something that pretty much every photographer winds up obsessing over at some point or another: camera bags, and the hunt for the perfect one. And then the realization that there is no perfect camera bag, so you wind up having like 17,000 of them, you know? I myself have somewhat of a collection of camera bags, and some people might say it's too many, and they're not wrong, but truthfully, they all serve a purpose. So today I'm gonna walk you through my collection of bags, why I use each one, and maybe how you can figure out what's the best bag for you. So let's get into it. Let's start off with my Lowepro ProTactic 450 and 350 AW2s. And these are kind of my go-to bags. They're rugged, they're tactical, and this modular system is very dope. It looks sick, and it's very functional. The 450 here fits a ton of gear. It's ideal for traveling or things like weddings or events when you need to pretty much pack everything. Whereas the 350 is essentially its younger sibling. And this is probably my most used bag. It sits well on my back, it's very comfortable, it's not too overwhelming, and it doesn't draw too much attention. The only downside to both of these bags is that it doesn't have an actual pocket for like a water bottle or a tripod, but you can attach all kinds of different things to hold either a tripod or a water bottle or different accessories, maybe a bag for batteries or lenses and things like that. But other than that, these things are super nice. I mean, you might be able to tell on this one, but it's actually pretty dirty. I've taken this thing all over the place. This one is more so my go-to daily bag when I just want to go on a nice walk, bring a couple of lenses and some cameras. But also, they're kind of meant to be thrown around. They're very sturdy. I never feel like my cameras are gonna be in danger when they're in here, so I don't mind them getting a little dirty. That's kind of what they're for, you know? It just would have been nice to have a little pocket here for a water bottle. But like I said, the attachments, they're not bad. You're just kind of adding more stuff onto the bag itself. But other than that, these things are super dope. You can see kind of a size comparison there. Now, if I'm heading outdoors, out into the woods, that's when I'll grab my Atlas Adventure Pack. And this balances the comfort of a hiking bag with camera organization. And it has a bunch of pockets. There's pockets in the front, there's pockets more in the front, in the back of the front, there's pockets up top. You can open the top, the whole lid comes off and you can fit things inside. The top expands out. There's water bottle pockets, that's huge. They're actually very big water bottle pockets. You can fit all 3 legs of a tripod in there, which is not always the case, or a pretty good sized water bottle. The entire back portion of it opens up. I'll show you. It's huge. This whole section here unfolds, and I'll just show you that too. Check it out. This might not sound great for the camera, but look at this. You can pull this down, and this here pops out. And it even pops out one more stage to give you more space up top if you want to fit, you know, spare clothes, snacks, maybe socks, extra sneakers, things like that. It's great for being out in the woods. I actually got this bag some time ago when I bought my 500mm f4 lens because it was just so big. I felt like I needed something with a little bit more space so I can fit the lens as well as some snacks as well as other camera gear. I mean, look at this thing. It's pretty huge. Let me get this out of the way. It's pretty huge. So I figured if I want to bring this thing with me and have some space for maybe a wide angle lens, you know, then I definitely was gonna need a bigger bag, and that's where the Atlas pack really came in clutch. So shout out to Atlas, because I take it with me all the time when I go hiking. Let me get this out of here. Now on the complete opposite side of that, we've got the WANDRD Provoke 31 liter bag. I'm pretty sure. And this is actually a little scuffy right now. I'm not too much of a fan of this being scuffy because I really like this bag, but it's very sleek and stylish. It looks super dope on camera when you throw it over your back. It's more tailored for like an urban environment if you're walking around in the city, but it does have this really cool roll top, kind of similar to the Atlas pack if you think about it. You can unhook this here and the whole thing opens up. So you have some more space in there to pack along some extra accessories if you got a long day walking through busy city streets of Manhattan or something, you know? It does also have water bottle pockets. They're not as big, but with this zipper here, they do expand, so you can definitely fit a decent sized water bottle in there. The only downside to this bag, functionally, I wasn't too big of a fan. It comes with a camera cube, and I don't know, it just wasn't really doing it for me, but I hear that they've made significant improvements on the version 2, which is kind of a bummer because I really like this bag, but I don't really want to buy the version 2. but I might have to pull the trigger eventually. I just find myself doing more stuff in the woods nowadays, so this one kind of just hangs out on the wall for the most part. But I do use it as a day bag at times. Sometimes I'll throw just like a single camera in there along with some essentials for the day, because it still does look really dope, man. Now, speaking of day bags, I also have the WANDRD Rogue 6-liter and 3-liter sling, as well as the Peak Design 3-liter everyday bag, or everyday sling rather. And these are advertised as camera bags, and you definitely could put a camera in there. This one probably fits it the best. It's got a good amount of space in there. This is the 6-liter, again, if I'm not mistaken. You could definitely squeeze a camera in there, maybe even an extra lens, as long as it's not like a 70-200, but you could put a 70-200 in there on its own. But I've definitely packed this bag out quite a bit. If you're doing something simple, some type of event where a camera bag might be a little bit too bulky and you need like quick and easy access. I've even used this one around my waist at weddings, so I can just kind of reach in and grab a spare 24 or a spare 50 and swap it out real quick on the lens without having to run back to my bag or my case, you know? This one here, however, I don't think that I've ever actually packed a camera in here because I'm still using DSLRs, which are pretty big, but I use this one quite a bit as a day bag. I throw some essentials in there like my AirPods or my wallet or my car keys and things like that. And I throw this thing over my sling and, you know, it's stylish, it looks pretty cool. It's kind of like a crossbody bag. It's not too big, it's not overwhelming. But with this one here though, you could fit an iPad in here or even a laptop from what I hear on the website, because the back kind of has this zipper bottom that expands out. It looks a little clunky, to be honest. See how it kind of expands out? It looks a little clunky because then you have your iPad kind of sticking out the top, which is kind of weird, but I can fit my iPad mini in here. But that being said, I could also squeeze it in here and it's not too snug of a fit. So these are all really cool bags. I love using them. This one might be my favorite just for a day bag, like I said, to throw a bunch of stuff in there quick and easy out the door. But again, they all serve a different purpose. So that's very cool. Now, staying with this over-the-shoulder theme, sheesh. This here is the Retrospective, the Think Tank Retrospective 30 V2. They all have such long names, sheesh. I used this bag so much once upon a time. Nowadays, not as much, but I've also been all over the place with this, and I've traveled countless times with this. Well, I'm not gonna say countless times. I'm not like traveling all over the world and stuff, but I have taken it to a few different countries, a few different events, a few different weddings. This is a great bag even to like take in the airport, throw it over your shoulder. It's, oh, sheesh, I hit the microphone. It's got this really cool kind of like messenger style aesthetic to it. Check that out. You know? Again, it's got a ton of pockets, a bunch of Velcro and zippers and stuff. You can definitely fit a laptop or an iPad in here. And this one is really dope. I really, you know what? Honestly, I might start using this one again. I really like this canvas material and the whole aesthetic behind it. It's really dope. Maybe I should get another one, maybe a smaller one. Sometimes a bigger bag can be overwhelming, just have this giant thing dangling, but I really do like it. I might get a small one. Even as old as it is, it doesn't look bad, it just looks worn, but it looks like it's supposed to look worn. So this one's a very, very cool bag. Shout out to Think Tank. But let's move on. This next bag, every photographer's got one of these. It's not my first bag, but it looks close enough. And this is just a pretty generic Canon bag, the type you get at like Walmart or Best Buy. And truthfully, there's nothing wrong with it. It gets the job done. This is more than a capable bag. I put all my stuff in here once upon a time and ran around to do a bunch of photo shoots and music video shoots and all that good stuff back in the day. So this one definitely looks dingy, but I actually had to pull this out of a bin in storage just to make this video. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with these. Every photographer just gets to a point where they need something bigger or sturdier or safer or just more compatible with the type of photography that they're doing. So shout out to the generic bags out there, even though this is not technically generic, it's Canon, but so shout out to all the starter bags out there. Now, if you're looking for serious protection or cases for traveling, getting on flights and things like that, that's where the Pelicans come in. Ugh. This here is the Pelican 1510, and this is the Pelican 1650. This thing is a tank. They're both tanks, truth be told, but this one is a tank. Let's talk about them one at a time. Ugh. They both got watertight seals, and you can basically throw these off of a cliff and you'd be perfectly fine. On my last video, I actually talk about how I loaded out the 1510 as well as the Lowepro ProTactic 450 AW2, sheesh, for a wedding. So when you're done here, maybe go check out that video and see how I kind of load everything into this case. This one is good to kind of hold on to it, like a briefcase, but it is pretty heavy. But it's got some rolly wheels at the bottom there, and this very cool grab handle where you can roll around in the airport. This one here is for more specific kind of shoots. You don't just bring this to any old photo shoot. Maybe I'll make a video about what I use that one for. And that's pretty much all the bags that I have currently. And people always ask, how do you even pick the right bag? So here's what I tell them. Number one, what's your workflow actually like? How much gear do you really need to carry? Do you need to be kind of low key or more so rugged and ready? And let's be honest, do you care about how it looks? Because personally, I do. I feel like if you're gonna be wearing a bag, it's part of your outfit and it should look cool, and that's fair. So the bottom line is, there is no perfect camera bag. It might be perfect for today, but not necessarily for tomorrow, which is why I have a lineup of bags. And truthfully, I've got my eyes on a few others. But if you figure out what you actually need for your day-to-day carry, the things that you bring with you on a regular basis, then you'll find the right bag. Or you'll end up like me and just have like, I don't know, 9? How many was that? I lost count. But who cares? Just collect them all. Try them on with different outfits and different styles and different configurations of camera gear. They're dope. That being said, let me know in the comments what bag you're using, or if you're in that searching for the perfect camera bag phase. And do me a solid, go ahead and hit that like button if you've ever overpacked for a quick photo shoot. And consider subscribing maybe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.